I'm making this video for two reasons. One, because I'm releasing the song and I'll release it at the end of this video, tell you its name, all of that stuff, but also because it's another one of those ones where it just shows how cool collaboration can be. Now, I might just sound like a complete fangirl of Zay in this video, but that's because he's really bloody good, and working with him was like it is always really interesting. So I just wanted to get a little bit across about how much I value that kind of collaboration in this video. So with that, I thought I would go into some of the ins and outs of this song, some of the things that make it the sound that it has, and some of the things that I learned while I was making it. The background of this track is a chord progression that Zay came up with. I think he came up with it before he came to the session, but when he first played it, I just thought, I need that right there. That's what I need. Zay's great on guitar, so that's why it's also played so beautifully. So the intro to the song is that guitar loop, and it sounds just like this. Don't have a clue what those chords are. I don't think I'd ever be able to work them out either. But they're super, I think from when he was playing them, they looked like they were super jazzy chords, sort of 7s, 9s, stuff like that. So, on top of that is layered another guitar line, which is the same chords played up the bar, and then also taken back and forth a bit. Sorry I can't be specific, this is all his domain, but that sounds like this together. And producing it, I left them a little bit off time for each other. I let them sort of walk away from each other a little bit. I could sort of quantize them so they hit perfectly, but I think it's got a bit more of a natural feel, and that's something I've really been striving for myself in the songs that I'm making at the moment. So on top of that, the other main element is this synth line. This synth line I thought was worth talking about because it's something that I don't do. I have never had a song where there is a lead synth in it. I've had songs where there are arpeggiated synths that form the chords, and that, because it's a sort of stripped back breakbeat song, it does occupy a leading part of the song, but never had a main melodic line with just a synth. And lo and behold, it was Zay who said you should try that. So all we did was figure out the key of the song, put a transposer on there, which effectively makes it so you can't play anything wrong at all, and then just hit random keys till we got something cool. We took turns jumping back and forth, and the result is a lead synth line that I would never have made myself, but that I think really it pulls the song together, it creates the song. So this is the lead synth line. It just sounds like, I don't know, I play acoustic instruments a lot in these songs now. It's something I've been starting to do more because they have that very expressive feel that it's quite hard to get if you're programming MIDI notes. But I feel like this synth has that expression, something about the attack of when we're playing it on the notes, and the way that I think it's only mono voice, it's only got one voice, so if you go from one note to the other it sort of glides between them, but if you play them separately it has an impact instead. All of that means it's very expressive, which again is something I'm striving for, and I think something that Zay getting me to work like that really helped bring across. So yeah, that's the main synth, and again it's something I never would have done. Supporting all of that is the drums. All of the drums are from this fella, OP1. I know it's kind of crap to have bought an OP1 and basically only use it for drums, and I'm going to make another video on that, but I am planning on selling this actually. All the same, it is incredible for drums, and all we did was take turns playing one bit of the drums at a time. So we lay down a kick first, just keeping it nice and straightforward. Then we layered in some claps. I think there's several layers of claps, and one of these claps has a little fill at the end, which is what you'll hear as well. And then and I think that's when you've got the kick and the claps. That's pretty much when the vibe's there. I'm sorry about saying the word vibe. Also some hi-hats. What really nails it down is like a housey groove. Bringing them in, you've got this. One element of the drums, which I've found I put in so many songs, but I haven't really spoken about, is having a rim shot playing like either like a quintuplet or a sextuplet or a triplet beat. It sounds like this. Sounds like this. I feel like it pulls the beat forward in a way that just having a straight beat can't quite manage. And if you listen to it mixed in, it's not prominent, but I think having it in the mix of the drums does give a certain movement that you wouldn't get otherwise. It can lend itself really well to Afrobeat, or it can hint at a kind of Afrobeat feel, because if you listen to the whole thing, you get this kind of like resultant beat of like boom cha, boom cha, which is quite a fun thing to play around with in like a housey thing like this. So yeah, if you hear it all together, you get this. Yeah, so those are the drums. The only other element, really, two elements actually. The first one, so I really shouldn't scratch my back while I'm making these videos. The other element is the bass, which is just playing like, I just programmed that in on the keyboard afterwards. It sounds like this. I don't know why I'm pretending to play it, it's on the keyboard. Let's be like. The main idea with the bass was to fill out the parts of the song which didn't have a melody. So if you listen to it within everything else, the points where it's active, where it does the dun 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 dun, that bit there is actually, there's nothing else going on melodically, I think. So that's, together they sort of make a resultant melody. So that sounds like this. One little trick actually, which you can probably take away from this song, is if you want to have like, if you want to create a bit more movement. Bloody hell, getting a phone call. Be right back. Sorry, can't quite remember where I was before that phone call. So I'm just going to go straight into the bridge, because this is the last like major thing which I think gives the song the feel it has. Quite often in sort of house tracks, stuff like this. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Sorry to go back and forth. Quick trick, if like for songs we want to add a bit more movement, that was it. What you can do is take out the first beat of the bar you're about to go into. So I've done it here. I don't know if you can see the screen or not. It's very literally the first beat, and it means that it lifts off, and then it gives the feeling of hitting harder when you get into the second beat. So any melodic elements that were hitting on the first note, so for instance the main synth, which is on the first note, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, dun. On the that's a terrible example, but on the first beat, make it hit on the second beat along with everything else, and it gets this lifting off feel. It sounds like this. Just a nice way of adding in a little bit of energy, especially if you're like me and you're really bad at drum fills. If you're good at drum fills, you can put in like a tom fill there or something. But I'm bad at them, so I can't. So the final element in this song, the bit for the bridge, is this kind of string. It's strings doing loads of tremolo, and it's just them and Zay's beautiful chords, and it gives this like relaxing feeling, like this space in the middle of the song before it kind of winds back down for the final like go through. I think often in house you have like a massive build up as a bridge and then a drop, but this song's a lot more laid back and the bridge is reflecting that. So that just sounds like this. Yeah, so that gives like a space to breathe in the middle of the song. And when I get to the name of the track at the end, it will kind of make some sense as to why that's in there as well. Finally, to end the song, we just had the song fade out and it just fades into Zay's chords. And we play them without a tempo, like without a metronome, so he just slows down and plays them really expressively. Again, just lending to that feeling of like nostalgia and of like the moment passing. I haven't spoken to Zay about what to call it, so he might hate this name. And Zay, if you're watching and you hate this name, I'm sorry. But I want to call it Soundtrack for a Summer's Day, because for me anyway, that's exactly what this is. This is the sort of thing that I listen to on the beach, chilling out with some mates in the background. So it's got the intro of like chilling out on the beach with your guitars and your mates. It's got a bit of movement where you sort of all go swimming, drink some beers, have some fun or whatever. And it's got like the sunrise in the morning. And then it's got the We Go Again feel at the end. So I feel like it really suits the summer day arc sort of thing, which is why I'm going to call it that. Zay, I hope you like the name, buddy. Sorry for this being very ramshackle. I didn't have a script or anything. I just really wanted to tell you a bit about this track, especially because I feel like I learned a lot making it, and that's always exciting to me. I'm going to play you the track now. It will be on Spotify soon and a lot, but it will be on SoundCloud first. And if you like the track, please go to SoundCloud and drop a comment. It's so cool when you guys do that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the track.